Hello, in this video we're going to take a peek at the simple reverse foot setup. What I have is a single chain leg and a foot control. It's a relatively simple setup, and I'll talk about the relatively part real soon here. So we're going to start by making IK handles. That's under skeleton, grid IK handle with the option box. That's this command right here. I'm going to start out with a rotate plane solver. So you need to make sure that that's selected. So I'm going to click the thigh and go down here to the ankle. I'm going to do another IK handle. This time I'm going to set this to single chain solver. Start at the ankle, go to the ball. Now let's hit the G key to repeat the last command. And make another single chain solver. Now what I'll do is rename these nodes. So this is going to be toe IK. This will be ball IK. And I'll call this leg IK. Alrighty. Now what we're going to do is set up some pivot points. And we are going to use those pivot points to set up how we rotate the components of our foot over the controller. Okay? Now, the idea of a reverse foot control is to simulate lifting the heel up and then sort of rolling up to the toe when you pick up your foot in a walk. Okay? So what I'm going to do here is create a locator. So let's create a locator, and I'm going to rename this right now because I'm going to use it in a couple of different places. So what I'm going to do is hold down the V key, and I'm going to snap this to the toe. So let's just think of this locator as a pivot point. And let's, first off, let's take all of our IK handles, the ball and the toe and the leg. Let's take them and middle mouse drag under the locator. So now the locator becomes the hierarchy of these and becomes a pivot point. And so if I were to rotate, if I rotate the locator, everything's going to go along for the ride and give me that kind of toe action that I was looking for. Okay, so that's fine and good. Now let's unparent these. So I can hit Shift P or use the middle mouse to drag. Now let's take the locator and hold down the V key and snap it to the ball. So if I had this pivot point here, what I could do is take the toe IK, parent it under the locator, and then I could rotate the toe. Okay, so what we're doing is just setting pivot points to locate these IK handles. And last but not least, so we have a pivot point here on the controller. Now let's change the pivot point of the controller. So I'm going to hold down the D key and also the V key. And I'm going to snap it to the heel. Then I'm going to release, and then I'm going to hit the D key And I'm going to move the pivot down to, and you know what, if I just go to panels, orthographic side, hold down the D key, and I can also just snap it to the grid so it's right there on the floor. Go back to the perspective camera. Okay, so I've now repositioned the pivot point on the controller. And so if I were to take the IK handles and parent them to the foot controller, with the pivot point being here, so now what I could do is roll the foot, or twist it rather, at the heel. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. All we're doing here is just making pivot points. Okay, now there's another thing to consider. So with this locator, let's take this and snap it to the toe. Now let's zoom in. So with the toe, there's the toe IK, and you can see that its axes are pointing off in shallow angle here. But if we look at the axes of the locator, it's not aligning with the axes of the IK handle and the foot. And so that was done on purpose so that I could illustrate this point and try to hit home why we do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's just delete this locator. So I'm going to make a new locator. Create locator. And I'm going to name this to be, let's call it toe underscore LOC. And what I'm going to do with this is Control G. I'm going to group it to itself. And this group, I'm going to take that, copy this name, paste it in, and another underscore, and call this GRP. Okay. So now I've got this toe locator group. Okay, so now if I take the toe here and I shift click on the group, and if I do a parent constraint, and I'm going to leave maintain offset off, I'm going to reset the settings, take that off, click on apply. Okay, so now what's going on is the group is parent constrained to the toe, and it's got the correct alignment. And then if I look at the toe locator itself, it's all zeroed out, and that's exactly what I want. So I want all of my controls to be zeroed, and really the best way to do that is making a group. Now once I've done this, I can delete the constraint. So I've got a toe, a ball, and a heel locator. These share the same space. They both have groups, so that they can not only be zeroed out, but lined up with the local axis or orientation of the foot. And so what I'll do is take the heel here. It's going to be driving the leg IK. And the ball is going to be driving the ball IK. It's also going to be driving the toe IK. And then what I'll do is take these and parent them here. Okay, so with the heel, it's going to rotate the heel up. With the ball, that's going to rotate the toe. Okay, but our last part, we want to be able to rotate everything on this one. So again, I'm just showing you these just for the visualization, how it works. So now we'll just take these and parent them both under that and this under that. Okay, so the toe locator is now going to rotate the entire toe. The ball is going to rotate the toe itself here. It's got the toe IK there. And the heel is going to rotate the heel. And so if you want to hide, then you can just select the objects, hit Control H, and so they're now hidden. You can also do Control H for the IK. So now as we look over here, expand everything out, everything that's grayed is hidden. Now let's add some attributes. So we're going to go to Edit, Add Attribute, and let's make a peel heel. It's going to be a float. Add. Let's make a twist toe. Let's make a toe tip. Toe tap. Bring up the connection editor again. So the peel heel is going to be attached to the heel locator, so we'll reload right there, and it's going to be rotating on Z. Rotate Z. The twist toe is going to be working off of the toe locator, and that'll be rotate Y. The toe tip is also going to be working on the toe locator, and that'll be rotate Z. And the toe tap is going to be working on the ball locator, and that'll be rotate Z. So let's see if it all works. heel, heel. That's correct. Twist toe. That's correct. Toe tip. That's correct. And toe tap. Also correct. So that is a simple reverse flip.